Panthers fans, you can sound the alarm bells. The worst possible news has just broken, right as the team was preparing to enter the most important stage of the season. But before I tell you this bombshell, Panther fans, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with all the latest Panthers news. The NRL's Match Review Committee has confirmed a heavy 3-match suspension for Jack Cogger, and the impact of this decision could be far greater than it first appears. The punishment came from that reckless high tackle by Cogger in the clash against the Melbourne Storm. The problem is that this wasn't an isolated incident. As this would already be the player's third similar offense of the season, his repeat offender status weighed heavily against him and left the number 6 facing one of the toughest possible punishments. And now comes the part that will have every Penrith fan holding their breath. If the Panthers accept the charge and avoid a lengthy legal battle, Cogger will officially miss the next matches covered by the suspension. That means he will be unavailable for the clash against the Bulldogs, he won't be able to face the West Tigers in the final round of the regular season and, most importantly, he will miss the crucial opening week of the NRL Finals. Right when the season enters the stage where every little detail can determine an entire campaign, Penrith are at risk of losing a player who had been becoming increasingly important within Ivan Cleary's system. And the problem doesn't end there. There is still an extremely difficult decision ahead. If the Panthers decide to challenge the suspension at the tribunal next Tuesday and lose, the penalty could automatically increase to 4 matches. In that scenario, the damage would be even greater and could potentially bring Cogger's season to an early end, depending on how far Penrith manage to progress in the competition. Just imagine how big that problem could become. If the Panthers reach a semi-final or a preliminary final, Ivan Cleary could still be without his 5/8. A suspension that already looked complicated could suddenly turn into an extended absence at the exact moment the coach will need every available option at his disposal. And this is happening just as something important was beginning to click within the team. The combination of Jack Cogger and Nathan Cleary had been finding more and more balance. The pair were starting to share responsibilities, create different attacking options and give Penrith's attack another dimension. Cogger didn't necessarily need to be the star to have an influence. His presence helped organize the attack and gave the Panthers' chief playmaker more freedom to decide when to accelerate, attack the line or put his teammates into better positions. Now, all that work is at risk of being disrupted at the worst possible time. Ivan Cleary will have to find a solution quickly. One option is to move Blaise Talonga into the number 6 jersey. The youngster already knows what it is like to handle the pressure of big games, but he has also faced questions over his defensive performances. Putting him back in the spotlight, especially during the finals, would be a massive gamble. Another possibility is Jack Cole taking on the responsibility. But once again, we are talking about a situation that would require immediate adjustment and plenty of confidence. There is no room for extended experimentation when every match could mean survival or elimination for the Panthers. This isn't simply about losing a player for 3 matches. It's about changing the structure of a team that is entering the decisive stage of the season. And for a side accustomed to competing for premierships, that could make all the difference. Ivan Cleary's biggest challenge will be keeping the attack functioning without allowing Cogger's absence to create a domino effect. Nathan Cleary may have to take on even more responsibility, while whoever replaces Cogger will need to step onto the field knowing exactly what the coach expects from them. Any mistake during this period could prove extremely costly. And there's another detail that makes this situation even more dramatic. The further Penrith go, the greater the pressure on the coaching staff. Replacing Cogger in a regular season match is one thing. Doing it in a finals match against a high-quality opponent, with the entire season on the line, is something completely different. The fans expected the Panthers to enter the final stretch at full strength, but now the club has to manage a situation that could have been avoided. Repeat offending has turned one reckless tackle into a much bigger problem, while the possibility of a 4-match suspension puts an even darker cloud over Cogger's immediate future. The Panthers' hierarchy will have to decide whether to accept the punishment and preserve the possibility of an earlier return, or risk challenging the charge and potentially making the suspension even longer. It's an incredibly high-risk decision. Meanwhile, Ivan Cleary already needs to start thinking about Plan B. Talonga? Jack Cole? A structural change? Whatever the choice, the fact remains that the Panthers have just been hit with one of the blows they wanted least, right when the margin for error has virtually disappeared. The entire season could come down to the smallest details. And now, a suspension that began with a high tackle could force Penrith to rewrite their plans for the final stage of the season. For Panthers fans, the question is unavoidable. Can this team weather the storm without losing momentum just when the premiership is within reach? Yes or no? The fans always have their say here. Drop your comment and tell us how you see the situation. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single Panthers update.